Start streaming.
Slept from midnight to 3, laid in bed from 3 to about 7, and slept about 12, got up pissed, slept about 2, got up.
We lied.
Man, I was, oh, shoot.
Thought you heard me. It's cool.
No, sorry, time got away from me.
No, you're good, man. Now, let's see if I can get this to pop up and get on my YouTube. It always takes people a few minutes to get in here. But, man, how was your... Kind of a crappy weekend.
Oh, Saturday was beautiful. I actually got out. I
Saturday was.
Yeah, I rode the tractor around and crunched up some leaves while she raked them out of all the landscaping and stuff, and it was nice, beautiful day, and it was kind of like hurrying because we knew rain and storm was coming, and yeah, I don't know, we were supposed to have last night like a little flurry at like 2 a.m. I don't know if it ever came through, but
Yeah.
Chicago area, they were getting some snow up there.
No, yeah, I saw that. Man, Chicago had a rough weekend. Snow today, riot yesterday.
Riot.
Yeah, you didn't hear about all them teens like attacking tourists and chasing
No, I
them?
didn't hear.
Yeah.
I was following a little bit. There's a guy tracking a serial killer in the Chicago area.
Oh, there's probably more than one.
That's a good call.
Yeah, I'd be real careful if I was from out of state, and I hate to say that, because that's gonna take income that the taxpayers are gonna have to make up. But boy, I'd be real cautious going to Chicago.
Well, you got to be cautious going anywhere these
Yeah,
days.
that's true. That is
I mean,
true. I
a
don't like
good
going
thing.
anywhere.
No, but a good thing is, the way we're tracked these days. It's not a good thing, but in a way, it's a good thing. Like, have you heard about this family of four? I'm trying to think where they're from.
Yeah,
They just up and disappeared.
yeah, I did.
They found them.
Did they?
They're in Arizona. I guess they talked to the woman and the two kids away from the guy, and I guess they told him, no, we just were planning to leave and we didn't plan to come back. I'm thinking, yeah, right. Something's not right with the story. But the fact that they tracked them with license plate trackers and everything, they boom in no time. And that's kind of good to know in a way that it's harder to disappear than you think. But,
So
you know,
what? They think the guy like kidnapped a mom and two kids, or were they his kids?
well, so far the mom's saying everything's legit. So I don't know. I
Oh,
was getting everything secondhand through
yeah.
Vicky who's following everything. TikTok is really amazing. The people like I said, the guy tracking this Chicago serial killer. It's kind of nuts.
Man, yeah. See, I get in, and there's a lot of people that do that on YouTube and Facebook also, and
Yeah.
man, I watched one, and look, I don't know how I feel about like the paranoia or paranormal. I'm kind of, I've seen some things before, but like one time I saw some stuff, I was like under the influence of psychedelic drugs. So I'm not counting
Oh,
that one.
yeah. Throw that out.
Yeah. But I have seen some weird shit, you know. So I don't know. Maybe it can be debunked. I don't know. But yeah, I've watched this dude on YouTube when he goes live, and it's pretty cool. He goes in some places though that I'd be like, no, no, I'm not doing that. I'd go during the day, and so even some of them places, like he went into an old water plant that was like on the, I think Tennessee River or something,
Yeah.
and it flooded all of a sudden and killed like, I don't know, uh, maybe around 50 people,
Man.
and it just, I was like, shit. And he was going down there at night. Number one, let alone you're talking Tennessee, out in the woods and shit at night. They got bears and shit down there.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
So, I mean, and that's going to be kind of hard to, if you hear sounds. Hell yeah, you're going to hear sounds in an abandoned, you know, warehouse and shit. See, I love watching it, but then I try to debunk it,
Yeah.
and I kind of think that's why I like watching. I like watching stuff like that. I'm still hooked on that. I can still watch episodes of that Oak Island, Return to Oak Island, where they're trying to find that. I think it's. I don't know. So they think somebody buried a bunch of treasure there, and they keep digging for it. But these people had set so many booby traps. Now they're thinking that even if they came back for the gold, they wouldn't have been able to get it out, because every time they get down so far, they'll hit something and it'll flood the place. So
It's like Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, it is.
Oh,
But
that's cool.
yeah, I enjoy it. I don't even know where they are. I kind of jumped. I'm not big into TV, much like I was.
No, we watch documentary stuffs all the time, which is it becomes crazy because all our conversations. Okay, do you remember this? Or do you remember this? I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I watch so much of these shows, but and going back to the social media, like the Gabby Petito, you remember her that disappeared
Oh
like a
yeah,
year?
yeah.
Man, I don't. That was kind of nuts. All the people on social media that were finding this van and from all these videos of people's dash cams and stuff. I mean, how they put it together. The police wouldn't go to this level, and
Right.
it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of reasons they want to shut
Well,
down TikTok. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I
Social media, a lot of that.
yeah, and I kind of get the China connection. If they would sell like a division to the U.S. and made sure that, because you just know, as like the young people are going to use TikTok. And right now, who's going into the government jobs and who's going into the military and stuff like that. So I can kind of see it, not wanting, and especially the tensions that are brewing, with China and everything else going on in the world right now. I mean, I I don't agree with it though. I don't think we should be banning it. I think
No
there's a
way.
way to work around it, that you can say, "Hey, here's what we're going to do. If you want to make money, you're going to have to do it this way if you're doing it in the US."
Right.
But and
To
I'm not with the book banning and everything like that. There's some of the shit that I think's inappropriate that should be looked at, and it should be judged on, by a board or whatever, because there are some books out there that you do not want a third or fourth or fifth grader getting a hold of. So I do kind of see that too. I'm not for it, but I think we have to protect certain people.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a fine line.
It's a very fine line.
No, just to me, the banning of TikTok, I can see how they won't like it because people can get information out quick, and it's not like, yeah, there's Facebook, but you kind of got to be friends or whatever with the person. If you go in there and search, like, the Ohio train wreck, you're pulling up all these videos of people that are right there that are showing you what's happening right in the
Right.
spot where you
Right.
couldn't get that really before.
No.
It's I could see why they don't want it. It's a way for people to unite and get information to each other about a situation
Well,
fast.
and
They can't block that.
you're kind of on to something, because look how maybe TikTok can't be controlled by the U.S. government, because I mean, I hate to say it, but look how they went after Facebook and Twitter, and if you even questioned anything about COVID, you were automatically, you know, they tried to ban you and you were some crazy conspiracy theorist and everything like that. It's almost like maybe they don't want you asking any questions.
Uh-huh.
And it's
Yeah.
not just one side doing that either. I mean, you can sit there and if you look at, the I think wasn't there a state that just recently banned TikTok?
Um, Montana.
Yeah. Okay. Now you can say that, but I mean, you have people on the other side that are wanting to cancel people and just because they have a different opinion. And so when you get into that, it's kind of like, well, you can't be mad at one side because the other side does it just as bad.
Hmm.
It's almost like you have to agree with one side or the other, and then it's just a constant battle,
Yeah, I don't
you
like
know.
that.
No, I don't either. I think it's ridiculous. I think what it does, I think these social issues um, keeps everybody interested because a lot of people aren't interested in politics and a lot of people don't pay attention to politics and they don't understand it. I think a lot of it, they don't understand that is our money. That when they give you $8 billion to some social uh, program,
Or foreign country.
that's taxpayer money. And sorry, I want receipts on that shit because 99% of the time, when large amount of monies or when a large amount of money like that goes to a program, you can bet your ass 75% of that is going to be administration fees. And that's another way of saying we're going to drain this pig and, you know, then we're going to
Hmm.
throw crumbs to the people. And that's what happens in every damn aspect of government.
It's a lot of money laundering.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And they just print the money. It's sad.
Yeah. And it's not worth anything. I mean, right now, if China said, hey, we want all the money you owe us, they own us.
Be like, hold on, let's fire up the printers.
Yeah, I mean, because our dollar ain't worth dick. And the U.S. gold has not been audited in decades.
Yeah, we don't want to know that that's been looted.
Oh, I guarantee you there probably ain't shit left.
Mm-mm.
Probably ain't shit left. But anyway.
But anyway.
But kind
Oh,
of
hold on.
what?
Claudia, she asked about the 16-year-old that got shot for going to the wrong house trying to pick up his sibling. Did you follow that story?
No, I didn't.
Uh, oh, what happened? He went. It, it was like he found that the street. It was one of those where kind of like William Street where it skips around.
Uh
Well,
huh.
he it kind of dead ended, so he went to this address that was close or something, or to ask someone, and a guy just up and shot him through the door twice,
Well,
like
then
in the head.
okay, then that guy goes to jail for the rest of his life.
Right. Well, what happened was they questioned him and let him go, and I'm sure there was an uproar. He actually has been taken into custody because I'm like, that's attempted murder,
Yeah,
man. If somebody's on the other side of the door, they are not a threat to you.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
And I understand. And where was this in?
Uh, uh shoot.
Because I know it's
Was it
probably.
Minnesota? I'm trying to think.
Oh, it was someplace up there.
I'm trying to think. All this stuff gets to be a blur. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you have the time and you tap into news and what's going on, it's
Oh,
like, oh my God, how can I keep track? In this shooting, in this shooting,
well, and then I wonder. Uh, he was 85 years old. Oh, in Missouri.
Missouri. I'm sorry. Yeah, a lot of craziness in Missouri.
Man, you then he's 84. I mean, I guess you confiscate every weapon he has. You're going to pretty much have to sell everything he owns and give it to the victim's family and just put him in a home if you're not going to throw him in prison.
Yeah, I don't know what you do at that point, but yeah, there's no way. That's horrible.
No.
Yeah, shit like that should never happen. There's just No.
No, it shouldn't. You know, we were. I just want to go back on something because we did kind of talk about this last week, but it was something we talked about off air, and that's Bud Light is looking to lose $6 billion by the
Yeah.
end of the week. $6 billion.
I think it's silly, but hey, I don't understand why companies really even need to go there.
Uh, That that is exactly what I don't care. Okay, that dude. That here's there's a couple things that bother me about this whole fucking story. Number one, how is this fucking dude or chick uh, uh, an influencer, and what the fuck does that mean?
Um, I'm with you, but on the other hand, they sent that person some cans of, which they do to, I guess, people, celebrities
Right,
or something.
right.
This wasn't an advertising campaign, and
No, and they did
they're
not.
not putting it on cans in the shelf. It's not like you're gonna go to you go to the gas station, pick up a 12 pack, and you have a trans person on your can. Man,
But
I don't know. All this seems a little
however,
overreaction, but
what
on the other hand, it's like, hey, well, on the other hand, what do you expect?
dude? And
It's like, what are you doing?
have you?
Why? Why does it have to be that way? Why do we even have to go there?
Yeah,
It's a beverage.
yeah. And I think this should be, uh, because look, the percentage of people that give a shit what a company thinks about a political issue, those people are in a minority. No, I don't go and I don't look. I don't go and buy underwear and say, "Oh, I better look up how Hanes feels about a bass released under 14 inches." You know what I mean? I don't give a shit. I want your product. I don't want, and that's the
Yeah.
same way I feel about celebrities and why I don't watch a bunch of movies and shit. I want to watch you act. I want to watch you play ball. I want to watch you do your job. What I don't want you to preach to me. I don't want you to think that you're holier than thou because you're not. You put your pants on. Hey, me and LeBron James, we put our tennis shoes on the same way.
Yeah.
He's nothing special, so why do I give a shit about his political beliefs? I don't. And I think most people, I think the Bud Light thing, I think it happened at the wrong time. I think if this was 6 months later, but right now they have got this topic so freaking hot that most people are afraid to talk about it.
Right, but it's all this not just Budweiser, but all these companies. It's fluffy advertising. Did you see the study that came out recently where they were saying that all these IT departments, whenever they get um, a resume in that has someone's pronouns on it, that it goes to the bottom of the stack? That they give these people the least amount of time looking over the resume and everything and put them to the bottom because what? But wait, on the other hand, you're putting the rainbow thing on, and you've got a trans person on your can, but on the other hand, you're not following through with it. Yeah, it's fluffy advertising.
Can I tell you what 80 probably, I'm going to guess 70 to 80% of people that go to work every day for a living and are paying their bills, we don't give a fuck. What
Mm-hmm.
if you
Agreed.
are an adult, do what the fuck you want and do with it who you want. Here's the thing. You should not have that shit just shoved down you at every avenue because look, honestly, if I got a bunch of straight friends. If they came and kept talking about their sexuality to me, eventually I'd quit fucking hanging around them because I don't care. I don't care if you sleep with a man. I don't care if you buy 6 Chinese love dolls and own your own harem. I don't give a shit. But I don't want to hear about it all the time. And I think that's what happened with Bud Light. And
Yeah.
then you had the vice president, and if you haven't seen that interview with the vice president right before this blew up, go watch that interview because, I mean, she kind of, pretty much told all the old Bud drinkers, like, hey, we're moving in a different direction. And you just isolated them people. And that was a dumb move.
But
Socially, she's a hero. Business wise, she just lost Anheuser-Busch $6 billion.
Yeah, but who owns Anheuser-Busch?
InBev.
And who owns Miller and Coors? SAB Molson or something like that?
Yeah.
South African breweries. And who owns that?
I don't know.
InBev.
Yeah, it's the same people.
And all these little microbreweries and everything, they're all owned by these companies. There's very few. I would say like 95% of their beers on the market are actually probably eventually owned by InBev as they trickle to the top. It's like a big tree, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's funny, the people that are going out and pouring out your cans that you paid for of this beverage, you know?
Yeah, that's not hurting them. They already got your money. You might as well just drink it. And, hey, I'm not, to me, I mean, to each his own. If you don't want to, I think it was dumb to get involved in it at all. I think it was too much. Like I said, if it would have been 6 months later, they might have slid under the radar with it. But I think they did it at a hot, at a hot time when you got the trans thing going on and the drag queen story hours and all that. When you got all that going on and you already got parents riled up and everything. And I'm sorry, and a parent should have. I mean, because the public schools, whether some teachers want to believe it or not, but they're actually paid by the parents that are sending them kids to that school. Mm-hmm. So the parents actually have every right to know what their kids are being taught in school. In fact, if they don't, it should be some kind of, not crime, but it should be, it should be looked upon.
I agree.
Yeah, because that's taxpayer funded. And, we have the right to know that stuff.
I agree with that.
But you want to get some humorous news for a little bit, Evan?
I guess we can try.
That lady. Oh, I did want to. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hold on, I got to find this because this is a 2-part story. He had it. There was a big old pothole on his street, and he had enough. He had called the city. They said, well, we're kind of working over there. We'll get her done. Arnold wasn't having it. The former commando, predator hunter, he goes out there, fires up the old social media machine, and starts fixing this pothole. Only one problem, Evan. This wasn't a pothole. This idiot, okay. Schwarzenegger repaired a utility trench, not a pothole. The giant pothole that Arnold Schwarzenegger said he recently filled on a street in his Los Angeles neighborhood was actually just dug. It was actually a trench that had been dug for utility work.
You're smooth.
Yeah, so now they got to take all the asphalt that Arnold packed.
Did he go down
there
to True Value and get some blacktop patch or something?
Man, yeah. I mean, there's a picture of him filling it in. I wonder if I can get. Is it going to be a big enough? Yeah, it's a big enough picture. We can get this. But man, this is to me, this is almost like very fitting. I mean, because this is almost like a, yeah, this is government officials for you.
We've run this so far down to the ground. This is what we got.
Yeah, so
We're
here,
running into ruins.
yeah, so here we go, Evan. There's the old Governor Schwarzenegger right there, filling a pothole. That is not a pothole. It was just dug so they could do some utility work.
You know, he got busted with his wife. He was filling a hole he shouldn't have.
Yeah, yeah, he was filling up the maid or something.
Yeah, he should have learned first time, man.
Yeah, Arnold, you better keep away from them holes that ain't yours.
That's right.
Idiot. Yeah, Roy in the chat room, he should be charged. I at least, yeah, I mean, charge the extra man hours it's going to cost. Because, I mean, that's blacktop patch. That's not, when it dries, and cures for a while, it busts up easy, but not when it's still like wet and shit like that.
Hope they don't have to come and saw cut it out. Good stuff.
Evan, I know me and you are not big baseball fans, but the one thing that I always thought about was a pitch clock, and they're actually it says MLB players find less time for small talk with pitch clock behind them.
Really?
Yeah.
Pitcher's got a
man
can't dilly dally.
Dude, I think you do got to hurry them games up, because I think I would say 60% of the people that say they don't like baseball, it's because they say it's too long and too boring.
Paint dry.
Yeah, because you do get some of them pitchers and some of them batters that get up there and, it's almost like, come on, dude. We know who you are. Get off there for, TV time and shit.
Yeah, that's kind of my argument with football too. They'll run a play and then they fuck off for 5 minutes and watch it from 17 different angles, and then they run a play again, and then they call a timeout, and it's just like, wow, does this game ever go on?
Yeah.
No wonder it takes forever.
Boy 13 in Charlotte, North Carolina, Evan, had to be freed from a claw machine after he climbed inside hoping to score a prize.
I've heard of people getting their arms stuck and shit. Okay, he crawled up in there. Nice work.
13 years old, I think they ought to slap him with a little, nothing serious, but this would be a good chance to scare the shit out of him.
We'll get you out as soon as we can get it. They just keep putting quarters in there trying to get the claw to get him out.
He's stuffing toys on the claw.
Now this time when it comes down, reach up and grab it. This is your chance.
Man.
We got to go to the bank, get some more quarters.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You should know better. And, man, that's got to be a little 13-year-old dude.
Yeah.
Them claw machines ain't that big. I mean,
no.
Spanish climber leaves cave after 500 days in isolation. Boy, I bet you he's ready to go back. He probably came out, looked around, and was like, all right, let's do another 5. But
he probably won't stop talking. Like, found the first person he could find, still talking their ear off. Like, hold it in for a year and a half. I couldn't imagine, because I talked the neighbor's ear off the other day because I've been housebound and shit. The neighbor was walking by and I walked up the street and back down with them, and that dude was probably like, dang.
Man, I'm going
he doesn't shut up.
I'm going to fuck around next time.
This dude just told me everything I need to know about building speakers and brewing beer and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, well,
like, I had an audience for one.
Yeah, no kidding. And it wasn't you.
Yeah.
Philadelphia truck break-in, and thieves may have not been counting on finding a mountain of change when they broke into a truck filled with $750,000 in dimes.
I heard about that. Yeah.
It says
How
they.
do you unload them though?
God, that yeah. What's a pound of?
I got called to. I'm sure I've told this story, but I took a bunch of quarters and dimes in a Drambuie container. My dad, being in the bar business, throw his change in there, and he's like, "You take it to the bank, you keep half of it, whatever." So I took the big container to the bank, and they took forever.
You
When I was in there, it took
yeah.
forever, and finally I'm watching, and a cop is, cop car goes to the parking lot, and everything. I'm like, well, it's a bank. They check on that. And when I came out, there was two cops and a detective. They wanted to know the story of where I got all these quarters. And it turns out somebody broke in the Civic Center and broke in all the pinball machines and all that shit, So I'm sure there's a big alert out for somebody with a lot of dimes.
Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. How much does okay? And how much does $750,000 weigh in nickels? Oh, it gives everything but fucking dimes. It's got nickels, quarters, and pennies. It'd be 413,000 pounds in pennies, 165,000 pounds in nickels.
So, but yeah, nickels are, yeah, 3 times for. So yeah, it's good. It's easy to say 50,000 pounds. I don't know.
They didn't get away with all of it though.
It's got to be 40,000 pounds. I have no idea.
Teen TikToker says loud fart led to uterus coming out of her vagina.
Excuse me?
Whenever you fart, you typically want to be mindful of what comes out of you. That can help make key decisions such as when to enter a room or when to leave one, or perhaps whether you need to change your undergarments.
Well, she pushed too hard, and what happened?
She farted on a social media platform, and the story dropped on TikTok about what happened when she had farted. Oh, I can't play that. Talk about a break. See if I can find a. You heard that not only did she pass a gas, but she passed something through her vaginal opening at the same time, part of her uterus.
Wow.
Yeah.
But she feels better. I feel so much better.
She said, this is all quotes, I farted really loud. Nevertheless, she wasn't too chicken to say the following, and it suddenly felt like I had laid an egg, and I was sitting on a tennis ball in my bed. Yuck.
Sounds like she squeezed out some tumor or something.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering. Or there had to be something messed up. It wasn't just a fart. If so, that's like a superhero. We got to get her to the X-Men dude.
Mm-hmm.
Fans send their condolences after Taco Bell served a customer a burrito that looked like a soggy toilet paper roll. Don't they all look like that?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only place a Taco Bell burrito looks good is on the commercial. Only fucking time I have seen a good-looking Taco Bell burrito. That's why you eat that shit at night.
I got no problem with Taco Bell.
I don't either. I don't either.
It's never hurt me.
No. And I like it. A blast heard across Israel 2 days ago was likely a meteor.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, I think some of that busted up because I did read a story in Massachusetts. If you live in Massachusetts, they are offering $100,000 for the piece of meteorite that was seen falling from the sky.
Huh.
So,
If it lands in your backyard, any of our listeners in Massachusetts, be on the alert.
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I wonder how big the one is that's them chunks are coming off of that they're not telling us about.
Good question.
I don't think they would, dude. I honestly do not think our government would tell us if there was a meteor headed right for. I think too
No.
many people would panic. It'd be mass
Oh,
chaos.
absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, you don't want the people to know.
Oregon man says he threw $200,000 from his moving car to bless others.
Yeah.
There's a twist, Evan.
It caused a lot of wrecks.
Family claims he drained it from shared bank accounts with each family member.
Bless you and bless you. And fuck you and fuck you.
Authorities in Oregon say a man allegedly emptied his family shared bank accounts before throwing thousands and thousands of dollars in cash onto a local highway.
Tell me where your family hurt you.
Right. Colin Davis, 38, tossed the money out of his car Tuesday evening on Interstate 5 near milepost 192. He said he was doing well and wanted to bless others with a gift of money. It doesn't say. I want to try to find the part where his family, because you know they're pissed off. Oh, here. During a conversation with one of his relatives, they learned the man had drained his family's shared bank accounts ahead of the stunt. He was not criminally charged. He could have been charged in a situation like this for being a danger being created because of his actions.
Yeah.
But now he's probably going to face several civil suits from his family.
Uh-huh. So like you're lucky you're not going to jail because when you get here, we're going to beat the snot out of you.
Man, what an idiot.
Like you'd be treated too well in prison. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't do that. What was that other one? Brink's armored truck crashes, spills coins across North Carolina highway, Evan.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that hit the highway this week. I can't believe that.
No foods, huh? Or animals.
Oh, I didn't even want to read that. This isn't funny. Ukrainian president officials have embezzled more than $400 million from U.S. aid. No.
Hard to believe.
We had talked about this, but now, Evan, New York has named its first ever rat czar.
New York, oh, they need to. So does Paris. Have you seen that? What's going on in France? Oh, with all the protests because they want to change that retirement age to 2 years.
I know.
they've had mass protests of the garbage service quit like weeks ago, and some other like city sanitation workers also quit too, and garbage is everywhere. So they've got this insane rat problem all over in areas. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I tell you
what happened? All this protest still got voted in, man.
Yeah.
Fuck the people. That's what happens.
Yeah. Anyway, Kathleen Corrida is your new New York City rat czar. We had talked about that. I think it was probably last year they were talking about because they were having real problems with them rats. I think you're just going to have to almost put a bounty on them.
I don't know. East Coast has just always been that way, hasn't it? I've always heard like, yeah, New York and places like they've been walking, down the street, and it's been that way for decades, kind of.
Well, it's
But now it must be really bad, out of control.
well, that's one thing about our society. We're a complete throwaway society. And I mean, like the landfill here that we have, when they built that hole, at first that was supposed to last for 50 years, and it was filled within maybe 10. I saw it completely filled. So it was like, and now when they build part of it, it's like, oh, that'll be filled in a couple years. And then where are you going to go? I mean, because nobody wants a landfill in their backyard,
No,
I think there's
it's
something else we should be able to do, though.
it's crazy. We have one of those big. I don't know. Was it a 96 gallon? What's the big toter? What
Yeah,
are
it's about
those?
96 gallons.
I don't know. Yeah. It's stuffed every week, for the three of us. And I burn most of our cardboard. We keep the boxes. She uses them in the garden, or I burn it. So it's not like I'm throwing away a ton of cardboard. Because we live out and we order a lot of shit, unfortunately. But it's nuts. I'm like, this is one household and this amount of volume for
Yeah.
1 week. It's yeah.
Well, I mean, you think about it. Some of them, well, that town of Hammond that I picked up, dude, I was pulling that town isn't even over 1,000 people, and I was pulling almost 8 tons out of that place. 16,000 pounds of trash a week.
Wow.
You know, so
Yeah. And I try to scrap out everything I can. I don't throw away anything metal and all that stuff. I hope people aren't. Give it to a scrapper. Most people come pick it up for free. Or we lived on a busy street. I would put out a tub like 2 in the morning while I'm getting done in the garage of all my scrap metal, and I would wake up at 6 in the morning, look outside, and that thing would be empty. I'm like,
right.
rock on, man.
Well, this person had a scratch that could not be itched, Evan. A person is accused of stealing lottery tickets from a gas station and then running over the employee who tried to stop them.
Oh, that's cold.
Yeah. 3 p.m. in the afternoon. What the? Oh, man, these people.
Gas stations, there's cameras everywhere.
I know.
Don't do
That's
anything
like,
stupid there.
yeah, that's one of the dumbest places to do them. And no, they usually have the good surveillance cameras where they're getting license plates and shit like that.
Yeah.
So here's this one from NPR. Police come to pull a Jeep out of the lake, find a woman inside, still alive.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that. What was the story behind it, though?
It started from a call from a fisherman who said he saw what looked like to be a black Jeep virtually submerged in the lake in Texas. Not till a tow truck came did anyone realize someone was still in the vehicle and was still alive. He says, we do not know how long the Jeep was in water, and he says that's just one of the several questions that remain unanswered about this unusual case. Took
Was
him
it
18 minutes to reach the scene.
That's impressive. Was it a Wrangler type? I can't imagine them being too watertight. It had to watertight. It had to be like a Jeep, like a Cherokee or something that's more SUV.
It looks like a Jeep truck. You can just see the very top, but to me it looks like it's going to be the pickup truck.
New things like that are pretty sealed. I could see 'em. You got room for a minute, but you're gonna run out of oxygen.
Well, I mean, the cab of it's floating. It's like, and they're pretty far away. So, wow.
Nice job.
Yeah.
You got lucky.
Very lucky. If that window would have busted under the pressure of that water, that would have been it.
Yeah, I wouldn't think you'd have. If you're in a car that's submerged, I wouldn't think you'd have much time. I would think you'd have like seconds to make a decision on how you're gonna, you know, not just hang out in there.
Uh, During the incident, it was determined the woman had been listed a missing person from the Longview, Texas Police Department.
They found her quick.
She had been reported missing hours earlier. So I wonder if that thing was like floating. And just floating in this river and, the current, because it does look like it has a strong current. So, wow.
Yeah, I guess it's possible. You float along for a minute.
Boy, you talk about lucky as hell. Whew. That still cracks me up from last week. If you missed last week's show, one of my favorite stories, desperate mom of twins calls police when she can't tell them apart.
If you can't, then just like I said, mark them right now and just make a decision and mark one and then go from there. Start over. It doesn't matter.
Athlete explains why he tossed tortilla soup at an assistant coach. Might not have been good soup.
Yeah.
They might have been
salty, cold. Who
knows? He says he doesn't recall what type of soup he threw at former Cavs assistant coach, but for some reason he refused to share details as a silent protest. I think we're kind of getting... I think that's one of them words that's starting to get really, really overused. Protest.
So much. You know what I hate? I'm sorry. I'm in a group of people on Facebook. We got a condition. We're all going through it. Everybody's a warrior. This person's a warrior.
Yeah.
They did this. They're a warrior. Oh, stop it. Everybody's a warrior.
Report, Madonna wants to return to her natural face before tour.
Good luck.
Yeah.
She can find it.
You know what? I think that should be a bigger story for these young chicks that think they need this plastic surgery and shit. And, with the older people that get that shit and really regret it. I'd have a lot of respect for Madonna right now if she jumped in front of that train. She'd get a lot of backlash.
Yeah. But and the sun worshipers, the people who just always out in the sun and cooking and tanning booths, man, that stuff long term.
Oh, you're gonna look like a catcher's mitt.
Yeah, you don't want that.
A woman who married Ragdoll, her mom made claims she's pregnant with second child.
Who's Ragdoll? Is this one of those rappers I've never heard of?
No, a woman who married an actual ragdoll. Here, Evan, I would not shit you. So here, I'm going to give you a picture of the lovely bride and groom. Hold on here. And let's go over right here, Evan. This is the lovely couple. They are now expecting their second child.
Okay.
So there you go.
I'm a little confused, but we'll roll with it.
Yeah. This is over in the UK.
It's all about acceptance.
Yeah. A woman who married a ragdoll claims she is pregnant with their second child. She showed off a positive pregnancy test on TikTok, saying she hopes it will strengthen the couple after finding out her husband cheated. The 37-year-old already has a son with her ragdoll husband, but said this time They are hoping for a girl.
Okay. It
No,
hurts. It
no,
hurts.
no, it's not fucking okay. Okay, that's a minimal. Oh my God, there's a fucking picture of their wedding, Evan.
Oh, we must see it.
There's a fucking All right, here you go. You want to see it, Evan? Yeah, the lovely bride and groom. She's obviously giving a speech there. So
He does not look happy.
he doesn't. He does not look like. In fact, I think I know what happened to Mr. Bill. Oh
Holy,
no,
Mr. Bill looks like ass these days.
man! He meth has been hard on Mr. Bill.
Yeah.
So there you go. But
Mm.
she said they would
Wow.
love to have little princesses, but will love them same if it is another boy. Speaking of the rocky patch for the couple, she said their relationship hadn't been the same since finding out that he cheated on me. We have been very distant. She hopes the new addition will improve their relationship and save our marriage. Well, I hope so too. And I think somebody should lock your ass up before you really hurt somebody. I'm sorry, man. Come on. You cannot look at that kind of shit and say, okay, you know, they can do whatever they want. No, somebody has got to step in and say, you know what, look, you need to be on medication or you need to talk to somebody because
Right.
you just made us all register for wedding gifts and this motherfucker is stuffed.
And you're expecting another one with old cotton balls here.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna happen.
Old cotton balls.
This the world's just insane. Okay, just because hey, just because you believe it doesn't mean we have to believe it. You
No,
know.
right. And there's so much of that shit that everybody, oh. Look, man, I I include everybody. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about your color. I don't care where you're from. I don't care who you're sleeping with. As long as you're not doing shit like this.
Yeah.
Because look, any of my friends, I don't care who they are. Look, if my fucking brother comes up tomorrow, hey man, I met this girl, I think you should come meet her. And I go to his fucking house and he's got like one of those love dolls or something like that. I'm going to try to get him some help. And if I can't, if he refuses, then I'm moving the fuck away where he don't know where I live anymore. That's how that's
Right.
going on.
I'm gonna have to put you down. Is what it comes down to. Yeah. I would put you down, but I don't want to spend the rest of my life in prison. So I'm buying you a plane ticket to somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Uh-oh, it looks like we have another female deputy down in Texas accused of sexting with multiple sheriff's deputies as heartbroken husband speaks out.
That's all she was doing was sexting.
Well, I think he found out other stuff. Uh,
Oh no.
accused of having affairs and sending each other explicit text messages. And an alleged sex scandal under investigation by the sheriff's office.
Wow.
There's a dispatcher involved, a deputy, a sergeant, and 3 unnamed law enforcement officers. This is just like the same one in Tennessee.
Man, she was like in the news for 2 weeks. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, well, we move on to something else like we always do, but You take the heat for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be embarrassing for a little bit, but just, stick it out.
Take care of the squad. Yeah.
Well, sounds like she did, Evan.
She
So,
sure do.
oh, anyway, well, let's get to the end of news here, and we end it every newscast with Bozo Criminal of the Day and our buddy Dave Moreland. You can see the stories we read you at bozocriminal.com. .com. This Bozo Criminal comes from Redwood City, California, where Moses Robley was seen scrambling over 2 fences and then climbing through a second floor door. That's some Spider-Man shit right there, Evan. So why does this qualify as a bozo? The building he entered was the Maple Street Correctional Center. Yep, he broke straight into jail. When officers found him, he was relaxing in a lobby area inside the building, usually reserved for inmates. His story, he was fleeing a man with a gun. He was found to be in possession of stolen credit cards and appeared under the influence of meth and alcohol.
No.
He was busted, charged with credit card fraud, meth, and a misdemeanor charge of breaking and entering.
Nice.
And we got one more for you before we get out of here. Bozo Criminal for today comes from Flagler County, Florida, where a Peterbilt semi-truck was reported stolen. The cops received a call from a citizen who observed something strange going on in the Days Inn parking lot. He said there was 2 bozos that were painting a big rig with cans of aerosol spray paint. Yep, our bozos who had stolen a hot pink Peterbilt were attempting to hide it by spraying it red. When the police arrived, they found the truck, our bozos, and 10 cans of Krylon spray paint.
Man, just get out the roller.
Man. So there you go. Our Bozo Criminal of the Day. Let's see. Real quick. Because you are, you haven't even won $1 yet, have you? See if we can find a trivia question of the day. And I just real quick before we end it. And we'll just give you one. Oh, I did want to talk about something that I forgot. No, that's
What's
too
that?
easy. The show Moonlighting, do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, back in 85. Well, I was trying to see, because I go and I watch these old shows and shit on these streaming networks. So I started looking it up. You can't find it. And to buy the DVDs, these things are going for like $50 on Amazon for one season. So if you bought all 5 seasons of Moonlighting, it's going to cost you $250.
Yeah, no.
So I started doing a little digging on it, and the reason why is because the music licensing. Because at the time they used so many popular songs that it would cost so much money to do it.
I see. Interesting.
So that's why. But there's still a guy that is working on it, because if you have never seen Moonlighting, that was some of Bruce Willis's greatest acting. He was awesome in Moonlighting.
It was good dialogue. It was,
Yeah.
it was a fun show.
But I started watching it. I kind of, I don't want to say where I found it, but yeah, it's available on the internet. And I got a SmartCast TV that I can, whatever's on my phone, I can stream my phone to it. But all right, Evan, for $1, and then we're going to get out of here. Who was the first author to use a type machine or typewriter in writing a manuscript? I will give you a hint. This dude, everybody has read one of his books. Everybody.
It's on the tip of my tongue, and it's Shakespeare.
Oh, sorry, Evan. It would be Mark Twain.
Oh, yeah, Shakespeare is before his time.
Yeah, that was probably way before typewriter, Evan.
You're right. Mark Twain. That makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, Evan, tell them bye.
Oh, well.
Yeah, we're 8 o'clock.
Good night, everyone. Have a wonderful week, and be good to one another.
Yeah. I tell you what, that's when you know it's a fun show, is when we run out of time. And
I guess we did.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to, reach and, I better read slow so this goes longer. Paul said that he shot.
No, I guess shows as long as it needs to be, and
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah. We're at the end of it. So, hey, guys, like Evan said, be good to one another. Peace. And we love you. And we will see you next Monday for episode 79. 78 is in the books, Evan.
Sweet.
Guys, peace.
Good night.
And YouTube, thank you for checking us out. We love you guys. Our YouTube views go up. We love that. So thank you guys for your support also. We just don't want to we just holler at our Facebook fans. So peace, guys.